Hey there. So in this video, I want to talk briefly about the benefits of trying unguided meditations, trying longer meditations, and also using a timer if you haven't used a timer for unguided meditations. So I do want to start off by saying that I love guided meditations, and I feel like they are so beneficial, so helpful, and I use them all the time. So definitely not saying that one is better than the other, but I do see a benefit in sometimes not using a guided meditation and just sitting in meditation on your own. So I think the benefit of this is that it really helps us be more aware of our thoughts. It helps us strengthen our ability to focus on something. When someone's talking to us, it's a little bit easier to listen and continue to kind of come back to that guided voice. But when we're not using a guided meditation, all we have is our mind. So it's a little bit harder to focus, and I think that that could be a good thing. We are really present with our thoughts and nothing else. So in those types of meditation where it is unguided, oftentimes I will just use the breath as my object of attention. So focusing on the breath and then noticing when the mind wanders and then coming back to the breath. So instead of someone reminding you to catch your thought and bring it back to the breath, you're reminding yourself. So we get a little bit better at catching our thoughts on our own without the guidance. So that's a reason to try unguided meditation. Now, I also want to encourage you to try a longer meditation. So if you're meditating for 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, that's great. And I believe that you should meditate for however long fits into your schedule and however long feels right for you. I would like to challenge you to try a meditation that's just a little bit longer, because it gets us to the point where we're a little bit uncomfortable. So in those longer meditations, we might get to the point where we're feeling a little bit bored, or a lot, where we're feeling restless, or we're really feeling the urge to get up. Now, you might feel all of these things in shorter meditations, and if that's the case, I would stick with what you're doing. But if you are feeling like shorter meditations are really comfortable, they feel really good, and it's always just the perfect amount of time, I would say try to stretch it out a little bit. Now, I do want to say that the point of this is not to be uncomfortable. So I'm not trying to make your meditation practice uncomfortable, but I do think that every once in a while, it might feel actually really good to sit in a longer meditation and experience those feelings of discomfort. In one meditation, I noticed that I was feeling bored. I labeled the emotion as boredom. And then I realized I'm only bored because of my thoughts. If I were truly present in the moment, how could I be bored if all I'm doing is watching my breath come in and going out? But it's my mind telling me that I want to do something. What time is it? When is this going to be over? How long have I been sitting here? Am I doing this right? Should I be feeling this way? All of those thoughts are creating the boredom. So I really had that moment where I was able to say, I wouldn't be bored if I was present. And then I came back to the present moment. And I felt like that was really helpful for my everyday life experience, to be able to feel that discomfort and realize that if I used mindfulness and came back to the present moment, those feelings might just go away. So that was a great experience for me. And I feel like they happen when we lengthen our meditation practice a little bit. And so The last part I would like to talk about is timers. Some people have asked me, is it okay to not use a timer? And of course, it's okay not to use a timer. I don't always use a timer. Sometimes I just sit and meditate for a little bit, and I come out of meditation whenever I feel ready. But just like with the longer meditations, I think the timer helps us work with that feeling of being done. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to get up now. And when you use a timer, just because you're having that urge to be done doesn't mean you're ready to get up. So it helps you build that strength to be able to feel that urge to get up and move, but to come back to your meditation, come back to the present and settle in for a little bit longer, and then noticing that urge to get up and move, but then settling back in because your timer didn't go off yet. So I think that's a great reason to try using a timer sometimes if you don't. And so I really do want to say one more time that I'm not saying one way is better than the other. I think they are all great and all worth exploring. So try a little bit of everything when you're meditating and just see what the experience is like for you. So I hope this helps kind of add some variety and maybe a little bit more challenge into your meditation practice if you haven't already. Thanks for listening.